All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you can hear me, drop me a one in the chat. If you can hear me, drop me a one in the chat. I believe I'm loud and clear. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you can hear me, drop me a one in the chat. I believe I'm loud and clear. And those who are, I believe some of you can even be able to see me. Okay, I believe some of you can even be able to see me. Let me confirm if I'm clear. All right, all right, okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to today's evening call. My name is Julius, and I'm going to be your presenter tonight, this evening, to share with you uh, some important aspects when it comes to cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and the ability and the power to basically understand how you can get involved in cryptocurrency, how you can get involved in blockchain technology, and how you can keep winning, all right, over time. Okay. Yes, and how you can keep winning over time. So I want to basically welcome you to today's call, and I believe today will not only be a super day, but most importantly, it's gonna be a day where you are going to be able to understand most of the important aspects. Before I get started, ladies and gentlemen, where are you joining us from? All right, get in the chat. I want to make some beautiful shout outs this evening. Wherever you are joining us, get in the chat. Let me make some sing outs outside there. Let me know, where are you listening us? Okay, Joseph says I'm joining you from Qatar. Okay, all right. Moses is saying I'm joining you from Kampala. All right. Then we have Kevo, he says I'm joining from Tanzania. We have Victor. Victor says I'm from Ghana. Boniface, my brother Boniface. Boniface is joining us from Kenya. All right. Stephen from Turkey. Bashir from Busia. Mark from Korea. Abdul from Ghana. King Roderick from Kenya. 1-0 from Dubai. Isaac from Mbale. Isaac is saying, I'm singing from this side of Mbale, 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 Mbale. And Mbale, Zimbale link. All right. Yes, yes. Exactly. Fantastic. Fantastic. Fantawati. Exactly. Fantastic. Fantawati. Hey. Let me just get things better. Hey. Let me just get things better. Just a minute. Mm. Okay. All right. Isaac is joining us from Bale. Let's go. Edison is joining us from Ghana. All right. Howard is joining us from I'm from the eastern region of Uganda, particularly Bulambuli district. The way Isaac loves his home district of Bulambuli. Hey, my friend, when this guy starts to tell you about the beauty of Bulambuli, you can think you can wake up just now and visit Bulambuli right away. All right. But we have Luther Kulathula from Rosenberg. The name is hard. I was about to bite my tongue, but I think I've tried. Lydia from Tanzania. We have Ratib from Kampala, Eric from Rwanda, Mbola from South Africa, Deli from Kenya, Pitungua from Congo. Hey, Afonso Winnie from the United States of America. We have Kanzi from South Africa. Alpha from Uganda. This one is from you. You mean you are from me? Kathy, the the message was not clear. You mean you are from me? You are from me. Is it what you mean? Hmm? Did I did I see very well? So Katha, you are from me. All right. Then we have Linzeka from South Africa, Mary from Kenya, Ivan from Bale, Alpha from Uganda, specifically Mitiana. We have Lady D, Joyce from Lesotho, Katie from Nigeria. She says, good evening. We have Mary from Kenya. We have Ivan from Bali. Marvin, leader Marvin, our upcoming B3 from Nakuru. Yeah, that side. Soon see you, my brothers and sisters in Kenya. Benjamin, he says, just one day into V2. Hey, Shema is not a joking subject. People from Shema, the side of Mbarara, are very annoyed. James from Tororo. We have Makwana from South Africa. We have John from Nigeria. Douglas from Uganda. Gabriel from Kampala. We have a Safi from Uganda. Hey, Julius. I live from Intinda in Kampala. We have Celeb from Barara. We have Muhammad from Paris. We have Mingori from Kenya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a palm-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to have you into tonight's presentation. By the end of this call, you'll be able to understand what is a cryptocurrency. By the end of this call, you'll be able to understand how you can participate in cryptocurrency. And that's why we are here. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. If you are ready, type for me yes in the chat and let us right away, ladies and gentlemen. Ay, 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 ay. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I feel like I want to start right now. Now. I want to start right now. I want to start right now, right now, right now. Okay, so before I basically take you through the presentation, who is Julius Kabanda, who is presenting today? Ladies and gentlemen, on the 12th of June 2021, I was invited to learn about cryptocurrency. My friend, things were scary. Why were things scary? Number one, I had not heard about cryptocurrency. I was just involved in certain things called return on investment, where I was investing my money, but at the same time, I was losing the money. The first time I learned about, I was in Kampala, on Kampala Road, and I met a friend of mine who told me the people who earn in Bitcoin, they earn twice our money. Then I was like, my brother, speak slowly. I want to understand. What do you mean? He told me he has been told that the people who earn in Bitcoin, they earn twice our money. I was like, I'm in. Then the guy took me and introduced me to a very funny project. And this project, we were selling products online. In short, it was called e-commerce. Yeah, 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 yeah. That was the 8th of January 2021. But I was told I will be withdrawing my money in Bitcoin. Guys, I never slept because I was told there the money is twice the money I was making. I was like, this is what I was looking for. We got started, and this company was called CHY Mall. I think I have some products. Where are they? I'm not a person, but I think I may take time to look for them. But we were selling these things online. So basically, it is said that that company was coming from Ghana. I really don't remember whether it comes from Ghana. So basically, I got started, and we started being paid on Bitcoin. You would open the website, the money is there. But one day, the website stopped working. I was like, this is how these things called Bitcoin and cryptocurrency work. You wake up one day and the website is not working. I said, let me go back to my medical field I'm done with this nonsense. But as I was seated there, a friend of mine told me, Julius, have you heard about carbon credits? I was like, what are carbon credits? Now you see some of us, we behave that we are very smart. I went online, typed, what are carbon credits? I read about carbon credits. I was like, this is the best business I have ever seen in my life. Do you know what it means to invest in carbon credits? And this guy was saying, we are buying carbon credits, we are selling carbon credits, and you are going to change your, my friend. I bought packages like nobody's business. That's why businesses with packages, red flag. So we started planting trees. Guys, have you ever planted trees online? Man, this guy, the CEO of this company, whenever he came to speak to us, he had trees moving around him. The trees were rotating. They were like rotating. So he tells you a package of 50 trees is $50. You will earn 1% per day. I was like, 2% per day. I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna be a millionaire. So I started when you have $1,000, you would make, I think, was it $16 every day? I was like, if I have 7 packages or 10 packages, that is 160 per day, my friend. I was I was a digital planter who has never seen the forest. And when they used to ask us, where is the CEO? This guy would come in camera. He says, I'm the CEO. I'm the owner of Green Gold. We are the biggest company. We are selling carbon credits. And whenever I would see the CEO, I would say, my future millionaire. I'm going to change. But whenever this guy would come online, he would ask us, have you bought Bitcoin? Have you bought Ethereum? And I was like, this guy telling us Bitcoin? Why is this guy telling us Ethereum? Hardly had I known that we are about to cry. One day, Bitcoin went down. The guy said, according to statistics, markets are misbehaving. So, we are going to start paying you in our native token called the CBN. But this CBN will be launched very soon. They gave us 2 weeks. 2 weeks of preparation, then the website will be back. All your earnings, my friend, those 2 weeks. It's like from when I was born, that was the longest time I have ever lived. 2 weeks of hope. You check 2 weeks, you are preparing so that you withdraw your remaining balance, my friend. The guy launched the token and it went to zero immediately, and the website disappeared. Then I was like, I better leave these businesses of online and go and try other stuff. These things are not for me. So Green Gold closed. But I want to be grateful to Green Gold. Let me explain why. When Green Gold closed, where I'd lost my money, this guy introduced me to PancakeSwap. I had never known about it. When I went to PancakeSwap, I found that crypto is real. I don't know if that makes sense to someone. I found that people were buying and selling crypto on PancakeSwap. I was like, hey, this guy was taking our money and investing it somewhere and promising us a 1.6% per day. It changed my mindset. It really changed my mindset. Then I learned about centralized platforms like Binance, HTX. I was like, hey, crypto is real. Then how do I get involved? Then I subscribed to a one training institution in Uganda that was teaching people about cryptocurrency, but I never learned a lot. Then while I was there, a friend of mine called me and told me, Julius, I have found a business that is going to work for you. You are going to learn how to trade cryptocurrencies. I was excited. But remember, it is this guy that had taken me to CHY Mall where I lost my money. It is this guy that had taken me to Green Gold where I lost my money. It is still the same guy that had introduced me to a certain robot that was smanya selling ads for Facebook, Microsoft, and I had become confused. So when he called me, I told him, stop your nonsense. I will not come. The guy was like, don't worry. Let me send you some $30. You come and see the business. Maybe when you like it, you will do it. My friend, I told him, send me the money first, then I come. I did not go to start the business. I went to steal the $30 from him. But when this guy sat me down, the one who was presenting the business, he told me, look here, you're going to keep your money in your Binance business. Huh? Now you're going to get your robot connected to your Binance, give instructions to the robot, and it trades for you in your Binance account. I said, what? This is what I've been looking for. Guys, I accepted to get started. Now, this is where the problem came from. The guy told me, you need $100. In 2021, we are in 2025. The guy told me, you need $100 to buy this robot. That's where I started swallowing saliva like 100 times. So $100. I had $85 on my account in Binance, but I was not willing to give away this money because it was COVID-19 time and I didn't know whether I will survive or not. So the guy had $400 on his Binance account. So I told him, bro, you see, you are the one who called me. Huh? Please, do me a favor. Let me get me this robot. When I will make something, I'll pay you back. The guy was like, okay, send the money. So I sent $85. He topped up 15. My robot got activated and I started the journey. From $85, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Q has blessed me with more than $300,000 in the last 3.5 years. If I now stay home, I work from my phone, and for the last 4 years, it has been the best decision. I never went back to my medical field. I never looked for a new job. I focused on this opportunity. Yes, it has had ups and downs, but it has been the best decision I have ever made in my life. But most importantly, I have so many success stories across the world that have started this business and it has worked for them. But that's not the main thing. The main thing why we are here, I want you to look at this magnificent opportunity and find out if it's one you would start. But like I usually say, the decision is yours, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready? All right. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? Are we ready? All right. So before we talk about the business, what is a cryptocurrency? Because even me, when I had just got started, I was confused to what is a cryptocurrency. Ladies and gentlemen, a cryptocurrency is a valuable digital asset facilitating person-to-person transaction without a need of a central oversight. There is no government, there is no institution that governs cryptocurrency. But even me, when I was told that a cryptocurrency is a valuable, when I talk about valuable, this is what I mean. Take an insight. In 2021, I'll give you an insight. Let me take in 2022. In 2022, Solana was $8. How much is $8 in your local currency? Let me see in the chat. How much is $8 in your local currency? In the chat. How much is $8 in your local currency? How much is $8 in your local currency? How much is $8 in your local currency? Gabriel says 27,000. My sister from Botswana says 55. Okay. How much? Abdul says 120. But now look here. In this year, Solana has risen to as high as $300. In 2022, Solana was $8. In 2025, Solana rose up to $300. Do those two add up in your mind? Do those two add up in your mind that you could put $8 somewhere and after a few years it is $300? Does it add up in your mind? In normal business, does it add up? Does it look practical? Does it look practical in your mind? Because I know most of you here, how many here can lose $8 and you die? How many of you can lose $8 here and you die? That I lost $8, kill myself. Let me see. That if you lose $8, you will not sleep. You will go back in the road. I passed here. I went up. I stepped here. I went to a toilet. I went to a toilet. Then I got diarrhea. After the toilet, I went washed my hands. I ate food. Then I picked my phone. You go back to whatever you did the whole day. How many are here? When you lose $8. But imagine if you had $8 in 2020, how many people had $8 in 2022? How many people had $8 in 2022? Let me see. $8 in 2022. You had that money. Let me see. Let me see how many people had $8 in 2022. You had that money in 2022. Now imagine it rose up to $300. You see now, that's why I'm trying to explain to you that a cryptocurrency is a digital. When I said digital, my friend, I mean you can't touch it with your hands. I remember when I went to Kampala and I was taught Royal Q and I came back to my area and I spoke to Mr. Kasivante. I told him, my brother, I have got a robot. He was like, is it physical? Can I touch it? Can I feel it? Where is it? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is valuable. It is digital. You will not touch it. But it can be moved from one person to another without a central oversight. So stop asking me, who's the CEO of cryptocurrency? I want to know the organization that governs cryptocurrency. Who is the overhead, the seer, who gives the certificate to cryptocurrency? Ladies and gentlemen, how safe is crypto? Because it is key. If I cannot be able to answer all these questions, how safe is cryptocurrency? Ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrency is stored on a blockchain. It is stored on a blockchain. It is stored on a blockchain. Even when you buy Bitcoin, your Bitcoin, although it is in your account, it is not in your account. It is seated on a blockchain. Can you imagine? Even when you buy your Solana is seated on your account, but it is seated on a blockchain. Does that make sense? Can you give me some yes in the chat? So what is a blockchain? It is a digital system that safely stores information across many computers. This was confusing. How is information stored on many computers at the same time? So if you want to steal, to hack Bitcoin, you need to hack many computers at the same time. Are we following? So it is designed so it is very hard to change, very hard to fake the information, making it secure and reliable. Making it secure and reliable, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know what a cryptocurrency is. You also know how cryptocurrencies are stored. But then, let us go to the encyclopedia of cryptocurrency. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to visit a website called coinmarketcap.com. What are we going to see on CoinMarketCap? We want to see What is happening in the crypto world? Okay, so let's visit coinmarketcap.com. Those who are following us on Zoom, the videos could be clear. Those following us on our lives, you can only hear the voice because those platforms might delete what we are talking about. Look here, guys. I was scared when I came here because it was my first time to see what I'm going to show you. Look here, look here. Okay, those following us on our Zoom. The total amount of money that is seated in this new generation of cryptocurrency is only $2.5 trillion. And I want to tell you why this puzzles my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, gold has a market capitalization of over 200 trillion. Where will your life be in the next 10 years when the total amount of money that is seated in the crypto market space is over $200 trillion? You see, when I got started in 2021, someone asked me, Julius, you have got started in 2021. And by then, the market capitalization, ladies and gentlemen, when I got started, was $1 trillion. It would move from 500 billion to $1 trillion maximum. And now, after 3 years, close to 4 years now, I can be able to see that what was 500 billion market capitalization in 2021 by June when I got started to 1 trillion now sits to $2.5 trillion. How many are copying? Is there growth in the industry? Let me know in the chat. Is there growth in the industry? Because many people in this world overestimate what can happen to them in a short time, and they underestimate what could happen to them in a long term. When I got started in 2021, the total amount of money in the crypto market space was 500 billion to 1 trillion. As I speak to you right now, it is 2.5 trillion. Ladies and gentlemen, is the industry growing or is going down? Give me some answers in the chat. Give me some answers in the chat. When I got started in 2021, Bitcoin rose up to $69,000. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, the price of Bitcoin this year rose up to $100,000. What separates the great to the normal people, the extraordinary to the ordinary people, is the ability and power to see where the world is going, and they get there better. They get there faster. Let me paint a picture for you to get what I'm talking about. This world has moved through different centuries. And let me see if I have that picture, but I may not have it because of time. But let me paint the picture for you so that you could get the insight, the power of technology, and you decide to position yourself or not. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are speaking about Mark Zuckerberg. We are speaking about Elon Musk. Am I right? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? But ladies and gentlemen, when internet came, Mark Zuckerberg thought about how would people communicate on the internet. There are guys who developed applications like TikTok now. If you go and read about the history of TikTok, the technology has not started today. When you go and read about Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, when internet came, Amazon thought about how do people buy commodities from the internet. When internet came, Elon Musk thought about how would people make payments on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have used PayPal? Let me know in the chat. How many of you have used PayPal? You have used PayPal to buy things online. You have used PayPal to pay for God for transactions online. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have withdrawn money using PayPal? You see? You see? You see? You see? You see? You see? Now, these guys saw where the world was heading and they got there. Are they millionaires? Are they billionaires? Are they doing well? Now, ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrency is just a 16, close to 17 years old industry, very young, seated now as I speak to you at $2.5 trillion. I asked people who started with me in 2021, and I want to ask you who's listening to me right now, where will you be in the next 10 years? By 230, ladies and gentlemen, where will you be when the global market cap is over $200 trillion? Where will you be? Let me know in the chat. Where will you be? Will you be like, they told me those things, that they're scam? I thought they were scam. I thought they would end. I thought they would come to an end. I feared to bring my money. I was like, and my friend told me that crypto is not real. My brother told me, my friend, your brother is thinking like the people that are around him. Your sister is thinking like the people who surround him. Let me tell you a stone fact. Let me tell you a stone fact, and I don't want to lie to you. Ladies and gentlemen, when I made a decision to put away my medical career and focus on cryptocurrency, people who I was with were like, don't enter those things. They are for people who don't have what to do. Don't join those things. You will lose your money. My friend, they now say, I went underground water. They now say, I am the real Illuminati. They now say, I am alien. They say now I'm alien. I got knowledge from the aliens. I think like aliens. But my friend, I'm just taking advantage of technology. I'm just looking at where the world is not able to see. I'm looking at how we move from Web 1 to Web 2 to Web 3 where we are, and I'm putting my focus there. How many are following? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about cryptocurrency here only. I'm talking about revolution, innovation, technology that has value. How many are learning now? If you are learning, type yes in the chat. If you are loving what I'm talking about, drop me some love hearts. Let me see. Drop me some love hearts. Let me see if you are learning, you enjoying the session. Can I see some love hearts, ladies and gentlemen? Can I see some love hearts? If you're enjoying the session, you are able to learn. Because I had people who got started with me, ladies and gentlemen, in 2021. I don't know where they are, but I understand them because they failed to see the big picture. And now when they find me, they say, had I stayed around, had I stayed around my brother, that is the way you understood these things, and I had never understand them. You are understanding the understandable. Had I stayed around, had I stayed around. You see, when I joined, I thought they would close. Now, 4 years, you are still around. Now, even sometimes people find me and they, are you still doing the other things you are doing, my friend? I'm no longer even doing. I'm enjoying comfortably. Today I was driving somewhere on the road and I met this guy. We met somewhere and this guy, when I told him I'm going to involve myself in crypto, he was like, Julius, you are a very good man. You are good at giving patients a very good care. Eh? Are you mad? Are you not in your senses? Are you under witchcraft? Yes, are you under witchcraft? How dare you enter those things? You are going to grow mad. You are going to stop today. I was driving full AC, and you know, my car sometimes it senses people who come near it. My car has that sense, it senses. So it sensed that someone is near the door of my car. So he was not aware that I'm in. So I lowered down my mirror and I was like, "Hey, how are you, bro?" He was like, "How stupid that you are driving this car? It's not true. This is so what people are saying. It's true. You went underground. What people are saying, it's true. At night, you become a snake." Then I was like, "You man, you went to school. I thought you were educated. So how do I become a snake at night?" Huh? So my friend, me, I'm not talking about cryptocurrency. Me, I'm talking about revolution technology. I'm talking about an industry that in 2021 was seated to 500 billion and today it's seated to 2.5 trillion dollars. And I promise you, by 2030, 10 years from now, this industry might be seated at over 200 trillion dollars. How broke will you be? Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are making a decision, under this slide, if you can look at this slide, it's very old. You can see what I'm talking about. By then, I was talking about the global market cap is 1 trillion. And every day, over 50 billion was traded. If we go back today, you might not get started. You may be worried. Ladies and gentlemen, if every single day, let me take you back to coin market cap. If every single day, look here, guys, these are facts. These are not quantala, balingo, megelo, the coming of the koi, the koisan. Then they crossed the river. Then the river entered the ocean. Then the ocean was below. Then below the ocean, there was a man who was moving to the right. And then the right became the left. Then the left became the left. When you enter a restaurant to eat food, do they ask you koi and koisan? So look here, guys. In 2021, only 50 billion were traded today. Look here. Now today, in the last 24 hours, 123 billion was bought low and sold high. How much did you make? It is a scam. People are transacting $123 billion a day. You are busy. They want to take my money. They want to take my money. My money is about to go. Are you normal? Are you normal? Over 100 and in 2021, like my slide shows, me, I'm a history keeper. I keep history. And if I was around during the times of the Koikoi and the Koisan, I would still have their pictures. But the way the history teacher was telling me about Koikoi and Koisan, my friend, the way it's not applicable is another business. Is another business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm introducing to you how many, let me see, how many are on the call and you like to make part of this 123. You say at least on this 123, at least even me, I should get a portion. Let me see. Because I want to tell you how you can get some of it. It's not a crime. How do people go away? How do people go away with 123 billion? And for you are like, my job is not. By the way, I want to ask, who told you were supposed to be paid at the end of the month? Uh-uh. Just asking. Who told you that you are supposed to be paid at the end of the month? Is it normal? You spend money every day, then you earn once in a month. Is it normal, ladies and gentlemen? And people are comfortable. I'm a salary earner. 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 And someone puts on a tie and a suit, and the neck is moving here, but he earns once in a month. Don't you think you are the one who's being scammed? Now, who's scamming who? Who's scamming who? Let me know in the chat. The one paying you the salary? Eh, or the one receiving the salary? Who's scamming who? Don't you think that the one who's receiving the salary is being scammed indirectly? You spend money every day, but the guy pays you once in a month. You are scamming yourself. Once in a month. By the time you receive the salary, you have loans everywhere. All mobile services, they demand you. Nearby shops, you have books where you are being written. Some of you appear in books of all the shops, those near you, those from far, those online. They are just waiting for the day you get paid. So by the time the money gets into your pocket, it evaporates. So you start over again. You have a saloon where you are written. You have a restaurant where you are written. So in every business, there is a book for you. I think the best name they need to call you Mr. and Mrs. Loans. That's the best. So when you die, they are very tough. We want our money. We want our money. Your father left such and such here. Their mother left. So loans are everywhere. Because you are allowing yourself to be scammed. But ladies and gentlemen, here is a robot called Royal Q, which is just a cryptocurrency trading board. And where does it trade for you? In your own Binance account. Where does it trade for you? In your own HTX, in your own Kraken, in your own Bybit. And what are exchanges? These are platforms where buyers and sellers meet. So you can go and open up a Binance account with your national ID, your driving license, or your passport, free of charge. And so, using application programming interface technology, we are going to connect your Royal Q robot to your Binance. And what is going to happen? We are going to provide instruction to this robot when to buy and when to sell. And so it is going to monitor because it has been given instructions, buy here, sell here. It's going to monitor. And when the market rises to your sell point, it will sell. So you don't need to sit on the market. Number one, your capital is safe. Because you are not sending it to me, you are not sending it to anyone, it's in your account. Number two, your trade is efficient. Let me tell you this story. A friend of mine in 2021 traded a cryptocurrency by the names of Shiba Inu. I know most of you know about this story. And so he called me on the phone. He was like, what? Then I said, what has happened, my brother? Then I said, what is happening? He was on the call. He was like, I'm a millionaire. Julius, I've never seen this thing. My friend, what is happening? Julius, do you know that Shiba Inu has pumped and my account is seated in too much profit? Woo! Then I was like, my brother, yes, yes, you are my friend. I have known you for so many years. Yes, let's sell. By the time the guy was tapping the sell button, it was like the sell button has never worked. Then, as we were speaking, his voice started to come down. I was like, my blazer. So where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Can I meet you and you give me some money? The voice reduced. Julius, Julius. Then I was like, huh? Julius. Then I was like, how, bro, what's happening? Are we not killing it? He was like, the market has gone against me. The market has gone against me. The market has gone against me. Julius, this is what they call real witchcraft. Then I was like, who has witchcrafted you? By the time I was tapping the sell button, it's like the sell button was not working. Then I was like, what has happened, my brother? What has happened? You are my friend. The market has gone down. So the guy lost everything. When the market rose sharply, by the time he was tapping the sell button, the market had gone against him. Ladies and gentlemen, you need an AI for efficiency. Hey, it will be able to execute trades in real time. And when you talk about crypto, the way the guy hates cryptocurrency now. Now, what will the robot do? You know, you need to know what the robot do. There are several markets and exchanges, but this robot trades in two markets. It trades in the spot market and in the futures market. Allow me to talk about the spot market. What is the spot market? The spot market is a one-way market. What is one way? Hey. Yeah. I know people are thinking is, you know, you have people of different caliber on the call. I see someone who's thinking otherwise when I say one way. So one way, yes. Yeah. And I'm very serious. In a spot market, it is one way. Yeah. You buy here, it will only sell when the market rises. That's why we said the robot will never sell at a loss because the market is one way. When you have $100 and let me say Bitcoin is $100 and you buy one Bitcoin, you will always remain with your one Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin moves from 100,000 and comes down to 60,000, you remain with your one Bitcoin. The value may go down, but the robot will never sell your Bitcoin until the market recovers in profit. So it is up to you. If you have feelings, I feel like the market. No, it's one way. Ladies and gentlemen, by stone fact, markets always recover. Let me tell you a story. In 2022, I was in crypto. This was the funnest thing that had ever happened to me. The founder of one platform called FTX had scandals. Markets started to go down. I even remember the time, the day, the second, where the wind was blowing. Market started to go down. I saw Bitcoin move from 69 to 50, 50 to 30, 30, 20, 20 close to $15,000. And I was like, shall we overcome this problem? Bitcoin went down up to $15,000 from 69,000. And I was like, God, which thunder is this one? People stopped breathing. I even found a friend of mine who had climbed a mango tree. Then I told him, according to the research I have made, whatever goes down comes up. What is the price of Bitcoin now? What is the price of Bitcoin right now? What is the price of Bitcoin right now? Is it still $15,000? What is the price of Bitcoin right now? Is it still $15,000? My friend, unless you understand this logic, you might die broke. Unless you understand this logic, you might die broke. And you start, you know, the other day, I went to one shop in town and I wanted to buy a Core 7 and I met this shop attendant who had bought Bitcoin when it was $169 in 2016. Then he was like, I made the worst mistake in my life. And I know it. What is the price? Because me, I was paying. He asked, what is the price? I told him it is 80. Had I known it, had I remained patient, my friend, all of you here, you will cry. And you will cry. I promise you. Like I promised those who left in 2022, it is 2025 and you will shed tears. Why? Because these are valuable assets. This is revolutionary technology. Yes, prices are very fluctuative, and that's where the money is. And when you focus on the spot market, when markets go down, ladies and gentlemen, when markets recover, we profit in a huge way. All right? Okay, so let's look at how does this robot operate. Okay, so this robot is unique because it uses the martingale strategy. So when the market rises, it waits for the drop to help you maximize profit. At first, to me, it was like a joke. I remember a day I set this robot and I requested it to give me 5%. And this robot gave me 20%. How many are on the call and you have experienced that? You request for little profit and this robot gives you more. How many have felt that? And I was like, what did I buy? That day I was very annoyed. I asked myself, what did I buy? Did I buy something I don't understand? This thing paid me more. Then I said, wow, this is what I was looking for. For example, if you don't have a robot and you are trading manually, when you say Bitcoin has reached 100,000, even if it goes to 200,000, you don't make anything. How many have understood that statement? But when you use AI and then AI detects a massive rise in the market, it gives you more than what you wanted. That's why sometimes I say if God was like that, you request God for one wife, he gives you 20. Yeah, if God would do like that, yeah, when he sees you are making money, you have good money power, instead of giving one, he gives you 20 so that you can maximize that profitability. But when you are broke, don't try it. Don't pray such prayers when you are very broke. When you are very broke, don't start such prayers because you will suffocate on the journey. You will not be able to sustain. There is little oxygen. But ladies and gentlemen, this robot has that power. Okay, this robot has that power. So it helps you maximize what? Maximize profit. Number two, when the market is going down, this robot uses the dollar cost averaging method. Okay, what we call margin calls. The dollar cost averaging method. Dollar cost is putting your money in bits. So it strongly puts your money in the market in bits using the martingale strategy or the grid board to help you make money. Ladies and gentlemen, this robot has enabled its users in over 200 areas. They have made now over close, I think, is it 280 something dollars? Ladies and gentlemen, over 2 million users worldwide. Really, it has done a superb record. Ladies and gentlemen, the robot is very affordable, $120. You not only pay that, you pay gas fee of 20% of your profit to maintain the robot, but also to pay someone who introduced you to the robot. Your trading capital is by your capacity. So how do we earn in the robot? You can be a personal trader. You learn quantitative trading, you start small, you go slow, you target 0.5 to 5%. You can also use our signals of 3%, 300x strategy. This strategy is extremely powerful robotic trading strategy that gives extraordinary returns. So you can start small and keep growing your money. Number two, you can build a team of traders. Let me tell you, uh, at first, when I wanted to make money, it was all about me. How many people are here? And that's how you believe. It's about you. You wake up in the morning, you go open your business, it's about you. It's about you. I need to go and work. At first, that's how I thought that my success will depend on me. I will be successful. I will work hard. How many people are here? How many people are here? I will work hard and become a millionaire. I will open many businesses and I become rich. When I met Royoki, I was like, point of inquiry. If I buy my robot and I teach other people to also buy their robots and teach them how to use their robots, whenever their robots make money for them, I get paid. That is the superb business I have never seen. Because as I'm eating and Peter's robot makes money, I get paid. Hey, as I'm drinking and Peter's robot makes money, I get paid. So it means that since this robot doesn't sleep, whenever it makes money for Kirabo, I get paid. But even when it makes money for me, I make money. So basically, you can trade alone, or you can teach other people how to use this robot, and you build a team of traders. Okay? So, and when you do that, your robot will free for life. Whenever they will earn, you always earn. You'll collect trading capital and you'll keep growing through the different ranks. Roku gives 6 ranks. V1, I start from there, everybody. And when you have 3 people with you, a total of 12 become a V2. When you intro on the 3, you add on 2, they become 5. Help, this business is all about helping others. Hey, helping others. So when you help others, teach them how to learn how to use the robot, basically teach them how to learn how to maximize. But and I will say this, how many of you understand that many people might buy this robot and fail to understand how to use it? Let me see in the chat. Let me see in the chat. Eh? Let me see in the chat. At first, even me, I had not understood how to use this robot, and I thought I was very smart. But when you learn, my friend, how many people are here? You have learned how to use this robot and you are smiling in the chat. How many people are here? You have learned how to use this robot and you are smiling. As others are saying, this was the worst mistake I have ever made. Yeah, 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 yeah. And now you are smiling. I have told you that the challenge with many people, they overestimate what can happen to them in a short time, and they underestimate what could happen to them in a long term. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to come to the end of my sharing, and I want to end with the following. If you don't have time to learn, don't invest in crypto. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear? Give me one in the chat. And you see, when some people got started in the Royal Q robot, they were like, in the Royal Q, in the Royal Q robot, you pay gas fees, but when you trade personally in the exchange, you don't pay gas fees. You get everything you want. How many have met those people? When you are trading in the spot by yourself, you don't pay gas fees. You take everything. Because they do not understand. Me as a trader who knows how to trade in spot in exchanges, at first I thought I was very smart. But my friend, my friend, Closing deals in real time is very important. Using artificial intelligence to help you maximize profit is very important. But it's also okay because not everybody will understand. But I want to thank you for moving with us from the start of this class up to now. If you have been able to learn something, we meet up tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We meet up tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Friday, and it will be question and answer session at 10 a.m. And also, we shall be attending our 7:30 class. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much for attending with us. Love you so much. We have nothing to add, but wish you a superb, fantastic evening. And to end our call, I'll play for you.